Welcome to AGIS, Anguilla Government Information Service, the official source for the latest and most accurate government updates. Congratulations to Ariel Bushay, the 2025 to 2026 Ms Anguilla pageant first runner-up. Ms. Bushay represented with eloquence, confidence, and pride on the regional stage, securing second runner-up at the Miss OECS pageant held in Dominica. Ms. Anguilla received Best Promotional Video, Best Question and Answer, and Best Swimwear. The Anguilla Summer Festival Committee also recognized her chaperones, Mrs. Michaela Cunningham and Mr. Yardy Fleming, for their stellar support. We once again congratulate Ariel Bushay and all contestants for representing their countries with distinction. The Farmers Association had its first calendar meeting to choose a new executive. They are President Ms. Donnelly Richardson, Vice President Central Mr. Ras Elijah, Vice President West Dr. McDonough, Vice President East Mr. Shane Smith, Secretary Mrs. Barbara Webster Bone, Assistant Secretary Mr. Leonard Telemack, Treasurer Mr. Carl Connor, PRO Mr. Shez Watley, Assistant PRO Mr. Larry Stott. Best wishes are offered as they take on the responsibility of leading and advancing the interests of farmers across Anguilla. The Honorable Speaker of the House, Tara K. Carter, and Mr. Lennox Proctor, Clerk of the House of Assembly, represented Anguilla at the high-level seminar, which brings together parliamentary leaders from the United Kingdom, the Isle of Man, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and Trinidad and Tobago. A major highlight of Anguilla's participation is the presentation of its groundbreaking Hansard AI system. Launched in late 2025 and developed by local firm Evolute AI, the system uses advanced artificial intelligence to convert House proceedings into official searchable transcripts in record time, dramatically improving public access to parliamentary debates. Overall, Speaker Carter described the seminar as an opportunity for Anguilla to demonstrate that small jurisdictions can lead major innovation in governance. The Ministry of Education continues to strengthen partnerships with regional and international colleges and universities, expanding opportunities for Anguillan students to pursue advanced studies. Education Minister Shelia Rogers-Webster says work is also underway to restructure the Anguilla Community College, ensuring it remains modern, responsive, and aligned with the demands of a global education landscape.
We are working very closely with the ACC to develop the technical side. I am happy to report that the Anguilla Community College has some excellent technical equipment. There is a teacher responsible for technical studies, a male teacher that's relatively new in the grand scheme of things, but real outstanding and has quite a vision for the technical work at that college. Recently set up all of the equipment, so there's going to be an open house at some point in the future to be able to get access to that.
The minister also announced that $6 million EC dollars, the largest allocation to date, has been designated for scholarships in the 2026 budget, reaffirming government's commitment to ensuring Anguillians can apply for financial assistance annually.
In addition to that, we also approve the priority areas. And the priority areas are essentially the areas where the government has determined these are the key areas within our society for this year that we want to ensure we get persons trained in.
In addition, the Department of Education recently recognized 10 retirees during its annual retirement ceremony and dinner. Educators and support staff were honored for decades of dedication to teaching, leadership, and service to Anguilla's children, work that has extended far beyond classrooms into communities across the island. Those recognized included long-serving educators, teachers Heather Gums, Landrina Hughes, Etta Lloyd, Juliet Simon, Cislin Richardson, Mavis Fleming Webster, along with valued support staff Mrs. Cynthia Harrigan, Ms. Jacqueline Hodge, Ms. Heather Reed, and Ms. Sheila Webster. The Anguilla Customs Department proudly marked World Customs Week, celebrating the vital contributions of customs officers and staff to national security, economic resilience, and service to the community.
And welcome to our first annual recognition dinner. Tonight we're here to celebrate you, the officer, for your hard work and dedication over the years while you were in the department.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest appreciation for the work you do. Each day you demonstrate professionalism, attention to detail, and commitment to the core values of integrity, efficiency, and service. Your work is not easy, yet you continue to rise to the occasion, managing the complexities of our operations with skill and grace. This dinner is just a small token of gratitude for all of the effort you put in day in and day out. I know that many of you work late hours, often behind the scenes, and face challenges that are unseen by the public.
Under this year's World Customs Organization theme, Customs Protecting Society Through Vigilance and Commitment, our local department reflected on its achievements and reaffirmed its commitment to protecting the borders of Anguilla while facilitating legitimate trade and travel. The celebrations also served as an opportunity to recognize the professionalism and sense of duty demonstrated daily by customs officers who work to ensure the safety and economic well-being of the island. The dinner was dedicated to recognizing the hard work, determination, and commitment of officers who serve the people of Anguilla with pride, often under demanding conditions and beyond normal working hours. The Department of Water Services has begun renovations to its office building as part of efforts to strengthen operations and support staff growth. The project includes the removal of the existing roof and the construction of an upper level to accommodate staff expansion.
The Water Department is a department that is growing. We have some extra staff that has come on, and we also have some extra staff that will be coming on in the near future. The guys that work hard on the road, when they come from the road, from doing their work on the road, they usually are outside under the tree, right? It provides good shade and they hang out on the outside, but it's incumbent upon us to provide everyone with proper office space and proper gathering spaces for the entire staff. So it feels good to see that this construction is now starting.
We are taking down the roof and we are going to reinforce the building, and then we are going to do an upper floor. There is also a storage building, and the building is built with the future in mind, so it's connected to the existing office area, and later on, when the need arises, I guess they can do the upper floor on the storage building.
They've been operating out of this building. It's built with the intention to go upstairs because there's an internal staircase. The top floor would have been mainly one or two offices, but mainly a conference area. Now, the water utility is, as the minister said, has outgrown the space provided by this building. So we are now under a new phase in its reconstruction.
These upgrades reflect government's continued commitment to improving efficiency and strengthening water services for the people of Anguilla. The Anguilla Financial Services Commission successfully hosted the Anguilla FinTech and Compliance Conference on 3rd and 4th February 2026 under the theme Resolve to Evolve.
Together with the recent enactment of Trust and Corporate Service Providers legislation, further demonstrates our commitment to sound regulation and global best practice. We recognize that international standards continue to evolve, and with that comes greater responsibility for regulators, financial service providers, compliance professionals, and stakeholders. Innovation must be matched by strong, adaptive regulation. Striking that balance is essential to maintaining trust, resilience, and long-term sustainability.
We want to look at strengthening our system. So it's that collaboration and early engagement where we can, trigger shoot problems, so we can see what is coming up on the horizon, any sort of issues. There may be regulatory issues. We may detect that when we're seeking to access certain information, that there may be misunderstanding of our laws and regulations by our service providers in the collection of information, and we can engage early with the FSC and understand, okay, is it a gap in our legal and regulatory framework that we need to sort of fix that, or is it maybe just a misunderstanding or a misapplication? So then maybe there may be a need for joint targeted outreach sessions, so persons have, an improved understanding of how to utilize our framework to ensure compliance, to ensure that at the end of the day, we meet our mandate and objectives, which is the effective participation in these international standards.
But there is value in terms of information sharing, especially with the FIU, where we look at certain typologies and get certain information in relation to emerging trends with the Ministry of Finance in terms of ensuring that there is compliance with international standards, and even in terms of policy decisions that would take into consideration the local context, the jurisdictional context. So from that basis, I think we can say in terms of sharing information or collaborating really with the various competent authorities, Ministry of Finance and FIU, it has been certainly one that's very productive.
The two-day conference brought together regulators, industry professionals, and key stakeholders to examine emerging trends in compliance and financial technology, while reinforcing Anguilla's commitment to maintaining a safe, stable, and innovative financial services sector. The conference reaffirmed Anguilla's position as a forward-thinking jurisdiction committed to regulatory excellence and technological advancement within the financial services sector. In football, Anguilla's under-17 female national team returned home on 4th February 2026, following their participation in the CONCACAF qualifiers. They competed against Nicaragua, the British Virgin Islands, and Grenada. The team was commended for putting their best foot forward throughout the tournament, securing a triumphant victory against the British Virgin Islands and delivering a strong and determined performance against Grenada. Their efforts reflected resilience, teamwork, and national pride. Congratulations to Ms. Kendisha Hall Prentice on her historic appointment as Chief Marketing Officer of the Anguilla Tourist Board, the first Anguillian to hold this role. Her strong background in tourism, marketing, and destination leadership, paired with private sector insight and a deep commitment to Anguilla's culture, positions her well to lead a bold, forward-looking marketing vision for the island. We wish her great success in leading the team at the Anguilla Tourist Board in showcasing Anguilla to the world. The Department of Health Protection wishes to announce that information regarding garbage collection schedules is available on the Government of Anguilla's official website. By observing the designated collection days, residents can help improve sanitation and support a cleaner and healthier island for everyone. The department thanks the public for their cooperation and continued commitment to maintaining a clean Anguilla. And now for people behind the service. This segment shines a spotlight on the dedicated individuals who serve within the government of Anguilla. We will highlight the faces, stories, and contributions of public officers who help keep government operations moving and support national development. On this episode, we highlight Ms. Isabel Rosario, Plant Protection Officer.
Hi, so my name is Isabel Rosario. I am the Plant Protection Officer at the Department of Natural Resources Agriculture Unit. I have been employed with the Agriculture Unit for the past 15 years, but as the Plant Protection Officer, I have been there for the past 5 years. At the Plant Protection, we focus on prevention, control, and managing pests and diseases, especially when it comes to agriculture and the landscape community. Plant protection is important because we try to monitor invasive species because we don't want what we have growing already being impacted or affected. So on a day-to-day basis, one of my responsibilities would be to conduct extension services where I educate the farmers on any issues regarding pests and diseases that they would have, what best integrated pest management systems they can use, what insecticides for a last resort they can use to control or manage any infestations that they may have, which would enable us eventually to be food secured. So just last week, we would have had an entomologist from FERA, which is an institution in England, where he spent a whole week here with us surveilling different pests that we have on the island. And for me, I find that is key because though we know what pests we have, we cannot classify them in order to say it's this family, it's this genus, it's this species. So with that information, we are able now to provide better information to the farmers and better control methods that we can use for the specific targeted insect. And at some point in time, we should be able then now to use that information to provide manuals that farmers and landscapers can use throughout the island. When you bring in material without the proper paperwork, proper inspections, it introduces species that we are not familiar with. It introduces species that can then eventually affect agriculture. And then now it puts us at a risk because now we're dealing with something we're not familiar with. So it's important for them to know what are the proper procedures when you want to import and export planting material. I love insects. So one of the key functions, as I said before, is surveillance and identifying insects, and I find something joyful in that. What I find rewarding is that when you are able to go out in the field and identify a pest and be able to tell the farmer, this is what you have and this is how you control it. And in follow-up discussions, when you hear that a farmer has combated that issue and they are successful, it brings me joy, it brings me peace, and it makes me feel like I have accomplished what I was set out to do. So the importance of plant health, if you know what you have, what pest, what disease, it limits the chances of you using pesticides. The less pesticides we use, the better it is for consumption and our health. So if you are aware of what you have in advance, you are able to control it and use other alternative measures to prevent having to go and use insecticides, which eventually, can be harmful to human consumption. So as the plant protection officer, I look forward to engaging with the farmers. I look forward to hearing what they have to say. I look forward to being out in the fields with them. It makes me feel accomplished to know that they can rely on me and my expertise along with my colleagues on how best we can help them and ensure that they can provide food for Anguilla and by extension in the near future overseas.
This is AGIS, Anguilla Government Information Service, your trusted source for accurate government updates. Join us next time with more facts that inform, connect, and inspire.